Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Everyone, welcome. We'll get started shortly. We'll get started shortly, guys. Hey, Terry, welcome. Welcome, Terry. We'll get started shortly. Hey, Bill, welcome, Bill.
Hey, Dave.
Hello. We'll get started shortly. Guys, this evening we'll go over stocks, options, ETFs, stocks, options, and ETFs. We'll get started shortly. We'll get started shortly, guys. Stocks, options, and ETFs. Hey, Kawisi, welcome. Welcome, Kawisi.
Evening, David.
Hello, welcome. We'll get started shortly. All right, guys, we'll get started shortly here. Again, stocks, options, and ETFs. We might spend a little bit of time on cryptos and the Forex market. Hey, Charity, welcome. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. All right, let me share my trading screen here. All right, so you guys should see my screen, Monster Market Tracker. All right. Hey, Gerald, welcome. All right, so let's go through the equity markets, right? As you guys know, we're in the markdown phase. All right, so we shouldn't be long stocks. All right, so we are in the markdown phase. We've been in the markdown phase. We've continued to see selling. We've moved our time frame to a weekly time frame on the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, and Russell. All right, so this is a weekly time frame, guys. All right, so we've got a sell short signal here on the weekly. And if you guys look here, right, sellers are definitely in control. All right. If we look to get some support on the Dow, we could look at this area right here. All right, so previous resistance here, 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 right, becomes support. All right, support hit also. So we might get some support in this area here. If it fails, the next support area is right about here. All right, so right about here for the Dow. All right, so we're heading down. We are definitely heading down. All right. Hey, Gerald.
Hello.
Welcome. All right, so definitely in the markdown phase. Hey, Zaire, welcome.
Hey there.
Hello. So definitely in the markdown phase. All right. The Dow, this is the Dow, but all the other indexes looks very similar. All right. We just broke a low here. So this was the previous low on the Dow. All right. And this is this week's action here. All right. So we could see the markets go much, much lower. All right. So that's the Dow. So we want to be very careful. Going long will be very difficult, even with energy stocks. Okay, so we're not seeing any of the energy stocks even on the radar. So right now, basically everything is going down. All right. Let's see here. So here is this is the S&P. Right, S&P, same price action. And on the weekly time frame, guys, it's an early move. On the daily, it's moved down quite a bit, but on the weekly, that's why we bring it up on the weekly. It's a relatively early move. All right, breaking this support right here. All right, so as I go through this, and then I'll open up the floor for any questions or any trades you guys want to look at. So here was our sell short signal on the weekly time frame, and here's the price action here. And the bottom line is that we're not in the markup phase, we're in the markdown phase. Sellers are in control, so we want to be out of the equity markets. That's the bottom line. All right. All right. The NASDAQ, same. So here's the NASDAQ. All right, same price action. Looks like the NASDAQ has moved down the furthest. All right, if we were looking to get some support, all right, we've got some support in this area right here. So here is support but right here, right on the S&P. So all the way down here. All right, so got a long ways to go. All right, if it doesn't hold that support, then we've got some support in here, down in this area here. All right, so that's a long way, guys. That's a long way. All right. So those of you who trade puts, shorts, there's some great opportunities. We'll look at some of those. And the same with the Russell. So here's the Russell right here. All right, so here's the Russell right here. All right, same thing here. The Russell is near a support area here, so it's perhaps the only index that's closer to a support. We've got some support here for the Russell. So it's right at that, right near support right now. And then we've got further support, I would say right here. All right, so this area right in here, let me draw it out. So pretty good previous resistance here, right here, a little bit right here. All right, right here. All right, right here, and right in here, cluster right here. So this is an area here where the Russell might hold a bit. All right, and then after that, all right, so after that, then we've got a little bit of support, but then it can move low after that. So, but it's getting close to a support. That doesn't mean it will hold that support, but it is getting close compared to the other indexes. The VIX is moving higher. All right, so as you guys know, we use the VIX as the volatility index. So as the VIX moves higher, right, that's not good for stocks, right, or the equity markets. All right, so right now it's at 32. We'll keep watching the VIX. All right, a number, I would say above this area here, we could start to see above 40. We could start to see real panic. All right, real selling in the market. So right now it's at 32. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right. As far as the sectors, all the sectors, we've got two sectors that are up, biotech and energy. If you guys look here, but even with those sectors, I'll be very careful going long. A lot of the sectors are neutral and down, but I would count this all down. All right, so be very careful. As far as stock boss, we're not seeing much opportunity in stock boss. We were seeing some energy stocks in stock boss to go long with heat seeker, and guess what? We don't have any energy stocks, right, as of today. All right, and I wouldn't count any of these stocks right here. All right, Bullmaster, same thing. All right, usually we'll get with Bullmaster, we might get 100 stocks a day, and we barely have 10 here. All right, so be very, very careful going long. The cool thing about Heat Seeker is that we track over 22,000 stocks automatically with Heat Seeker every day, guys. So if there, and we track on very, very high volume. All right, for example, RDBX right here, that's 436 million shares being traded. So if it's not showing up here, All right, guess what? The big institutions, they're not buying. They're not buying. So heat seeker works out as it keeps us safe. It really keeps us out of the markets when we shouldn't be buying. All right. So when the market goes bearish like it is now, right, in that markdown phase, heat seeker will dry up. All right. When things become bullish, we get into that markup phase. We get lots of opportunity. All right. So it really does protect us from ourselves when it comes to trading. All right. Monster ETF, we are starting to see opportunities in Monster ETF. You know, we don't bring out this system a lot, right? This system really starts to pick up when the market goes bearish. All right. And the way this works is we'll see short opportunities. Okay. So short ETFs, all right, will really start to show up in Monster ETF. Okay, so we've got some short, ultra short, and the way it works is I'll take, hey Travis, welcome. I will take, hello. Here is an example here. So tech, ultra short tech. So as the tech sector is going down, all right, so we'll take a look here. Technology, where is it? Right here. So technology right here is going down, all right? But with Monster ETF, that ultra short, right, is the reverse. So it's going up, right? So we can buy it to go long up as the sector goes down, all right? So tech, right? Financials, ultra short financials, okay? That's moving higher. All right, let's see here. Consumer staples, right? That's moving higher, buy signal here. All right, here's the Russell here. Here's the ultra short Russell. All right. So this works really, really well. All right. If you guys wanted to take a position going long, all right, short in the market, but going long. So we don't always have to short or get puts. All right, we can get the short ETFs. And all of these are short ETFs. Okay, here is a Ranger Equity Bear. So that's a bear market ETF. All right, and look at that. All right, so, but the big opportunity we have is with Monster Short, right? Our Monster Short system. And what I want you guys to look at why we really shouldn't be in equities long right now. All these stocks, all of the stocks, right, are showing up in Monster Short. Okay. So this is you don't have to trade these, but this is just for education purposes, right? This is why we need to be on the right side of the markets. Okay, so while we see Stock Boss is drying up, Bullmaster, right, is drying up, we're starting to see more opportunities show up in Monster ETF. All right, and this is why we have different systems, guys, for different market, right, for the different markets. So here, Monster Short, I'm going to go through this, all right, so that you guys see that these stocks are moving lower, right? So these are stocks that are moving lower, and there's a lot more opportunities right here, a lot more opportunities in these stocks, right? But to go short, to go down, all right? So I'm gonna go through these, and I just want you guys, stop me if you guys have any questions, all right? But I'm just gonna go through this. And you'll notice that these stocks are breaking support, right? They're breaking support, short signals, and they're really moving lower, all right? So right now, this is where all the action is. See that? So these institutions are dumping shares, they're getting out of stocks. So a lot of times, we talk about, hey, a large percentage of stocks will follow the overall market. All right. Large percentage of stocks, doesn't matter if we like the stock or not, right? It's going to follow what these indexes are doing. All right. So if these indexes are going down, right, that's why we follow these indexes, Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, these stocks are going to go down also. All right, right with them. So our opinion of the stock doesn't matter. Fundamentals doesn't matter. All right, stock after stock after stock, they're breaking down. They're breaking down. You guys see that? Stock after stock after stock, lots of stocks. I mean, it's crazy. Bullmaster, we've got 10 stocks, and in this system, I can't even count. There are hundreds of stocks that are all going down, regardless of the fundamentals, regardless of the industry, doesn't matter. They're all breaking down to the downside, giving sell short signals. Look at that.
How do you find the ones that's trending the most?
What's that, Gerald?
How do you find the ones that is trending the most?
That are trending the most?
On the monster short. Are they in order there?
Well, I mean, you could tell from the chart, right? But no, I'm not showing this so that you guys could look to short, right? That's, I wouldn't recommend new traders shorting. All right. But what you guys want to, as far as you wouldn't want, if you were to get in a position, you would look for the ones that are breaking out, not trending, right? By the time it starts to trend to the downside, it's too late. All right. So we want the ones that are breaking out. But why I want to show you guys this is why we need to be on the right side. So regardless of when you guys are in trades, right, it's important to be, so, we have several different systems, right? So let's say we have a trader that has Stock Boss. And who here has Stock Boss? Bill, do you have Stock Boss? No, you have Sniper.
No, I got Sniper.
Yeah, you have Sniper. So the idea is, guys, these markets rotate. Okay, so we can force the different markets, and the bottom line is these stocks will follow these indexes. So that's really what I want to show you guys here. All right, so lots more opportunities here. I wouldn't recommend, like Zaire goes short, right? I wouldn't. Bill, you've started to get some short opportunities. But for everyone else, I wouldn't recommend going short or getting puts, all right, until you build your experience. All right, but that's the rotation, right? So just like we see rotations in like Forex, we see rotations in the markets also. All right. I want to spend a little bit of time on cryptos, and then I'll open the floor. All right, Bitcoin, right, guys? Bitcoin is right at 20,250, 256 right now. All right, now we've been talking about Bitcoin, and it's definitely going lower. All right, so that 10,000 mark, it's becoming very, very real. All right, we've moved it to a weekly time frame so that we can see support a lot clearer. Here we can really see support here at 10,000. Okay, so We'll watch it based on the price action that we see happening here. All right, it got to 20,000 pretty quick. All right, it could get to 20,000 pretty quick. So it got to 20,000 pretty quick. It can get to 10,000 really quick. All right. And I know you guys are not in it. I know you guys are not in it, but it's good to watch it. The next support after that is 4,000. All right. So the next support after 10,000 is 4,000. And there really isn't a lot of support after that. Okay. So Bitcoin is in a critical spot. Okay. But 10,000 might slow it down a bit. All right. So I'm going to open up the floor. Any questions, any symbols you guys want to take a look at? Any trades you guys want to take a look at?
I'm curious about Tesla and Coinbase right now. Either one of those you can look at.
Okay, so Tesla, what's the symbol for Tesla, Charity?
TSLA.
What is it?
TSLA.
All right, and Tesla, and which was the other one?
Coinbase.
Coinbase, what's the symbol for Coinbase?
Coin.
Coin, okay. All right, so let's do that. We'll put it in the short system here. So Tesla, TSLR.
Sorry, it's TSLA.
TSLA, okay. All right, so Tesla right here. All right. What are you looking to do anything here? Or are you just curious?
I've had some stock in that for quite a while now. So it's very, it's lost like 80% of it. So I'm at the point right now where it's like, we might as well just hold it and see what happens. But yeah, just kind of seeing if there's anything out there that would say otherwise.
Okay, so let's analyze it. All right, so we've got a sell short signal on it. This is the weekly time frame. All right, so the weekly time frame, we've got support right here. So we've got decent support right here. Okay, not very good support, right? But you know, when we like tight consolidation, all right, that's usually better. But you know, it held here. So, and that is 538. Okay, so currently it's at what's that, 639 currently. Let me open this 1 second here. All right. All right, so it's currently at 639, Charity. Okay, you've got support right here at 538. The concern is this with Tesla. All right, I would consider this new. So we've got sellers early, right? So here's our sell short signal right here. All right, right here is our sell short signal. All right, sellers are coming in. This is early in the markdown phase. All right, I would call this, this is distribution. And you know, Tesla was a high at 1,200, right? Tesla 1,200, so right up here. But let's say right here. We won't really count that because it failed. All right, so if you look here, this is an early break out of our box right here. So we'll say resistance, support. If you look at it here, it's an early break. So it can go much lower. And if the market goes lower, guess what? It will follow regardless of any of the fundamentals here. All right. So you could get some support. You could get some support right here. All right. And I said last at 538. All right. That's not very likely. All right. That's not very likely. All right. And then we don't have any support. We don't have any real support after here. All right. After here. So if the sellers come in, right, and this, it could really move lower. The scary thing about Tesla is that support doesn't come until all the way down here. So, and what we want to look at when we look at support and resistance, it's like a wall, right? It's like a protection or a barrier. All right. So, we don't have any real support until about, let's do this. Hold on one second. Okay. Oh, I'm seeing the same thing here. Okay, so on a monthly time frame, it's the same. So support, you don't have any real support until about $70. All right, $70. So this is scary. Let's see, weekly. And it's not just Tesla, a lot of the stocks are breaking down. Let's see here. All right, so this is it's an early move. You guys can see that early move to the downside. All right, we've gotten past that markup phase, early start in the markdown phase. All right, so it could go much lower. All right, and then Coinbase, COIN. All right, Coinbase. So Coinbase is fairly new. It opened up 2021. This is on a weekly time frame. Boy, it opened up a new IPO, and then it's been down ever since. Let's see here. Monthly, same thing. Daily, all right, price action looks better on the daily. We don't have any support, right? And we don't have a lot of history because it's a new IPO. So weekly. So here it is on the weekly, opened up in here, right? Try to make a move, but then came all the way back down. We have a sell short signal here. It opened up around, I think it looks like it opened up this candle here around 380 something, and now it's at 51. All right, so it could go much lower. Hey, Chris, welcome. All right, does that help, Charity?
Yes, I kind of have a similar situation with this one too. So it's sort of like, do I even mess with it? And I think I probably will just pull them both.
Well, it's up to you, right? When I talk to traders, and the information, and don't beat yourselves up, right? because what the trades that you guys have taken, when the reason why we even here, right? And is because I was always on the other side of the trades. All right. So I was always on the other sides of these trades. And some of my largest losses those are where I really learned and I got my education, because I had to figure things out. And that's why you guys are here. All right. If everything was perfect, and if you guys were just making money, right, and you were doing everything right, we wouldn't be here. All right. So if we and so the decision, the goal is this: the decisions that we made prior to getting this information, just like the markdown phase, just the markdown phase, markup phase, the for market phase, is that information alone, right? Forget the systems, just that information alone will help you guys next time in your decision. Okay, we have a long life, right? A long time to trade, right? So when we look at trades like these, trades that you guys have done previously, right, to getting this information, all right, don't beat yourself up. All right, don't beat yourself up, because guess what? It's the reason why you're on the search to get this information. All right, so just know that, and now you guys have to, and I know several of our traders are in the same boat, right? Where they didn't have the information. Now, you know, and Charity, you know, thanks for bringing up your trades. Not everyone is honest enough to bring up or brave enough, let's say, all right, to talk about their current trades. But it's the reality. All right, it's the reality. So the good news is, based on the new information that we have now, right, this is not as scary, and then we can start to make decisions, right, on our current positions. And it's decisions that now we get to make, because now we have the right decision, and we're not waiting for someone else to tell us what to do, right? Based on the new information, the new education, we can now make our, because everyone has a personal relationship. This is your money, right? This is your money. These are your trades, all right? But the cool thing is, once you get the right information, then you guys can make the right decisions, okay? So these are not very, these are very hard trades, okay? Now, Tesla, all right, this one, Coinbase, has moved down quite a bit, all right, quite a bit. And it can move down a lot lower, all right? Tesla, all right, and what I want you guys to really think about, and that's why I went through some of the short, the short trades in Monster Short, right, where you guys see all these stocks, right? I mean, literally hundreds of stocks are just really collapsing, all right? It doesn't matter what we think about Tesla, right? If the selling, it started to come in, so it could go a lot lower, okay? It can go a lot lower. Now, listen, markets can get bullish next week, and that can change everything, all right? That's what we have to deal with, all right? We just don't know. What we do know right now, sellers are in. It's not in the markup phase, right? It's gotten past that distribution phase. It's coming into that markdown phase. All right. So thanks for sharing your trades, Charity. All right. I know it's not easy. I've been on the other side of these trades, and it's not easy. And you've been with us for a while, and you have some good information now. So at least you've got that knowledge now. All right, and you're building your skills. All right.
So I'm curious how, if the stocks have a similar thing like how Forex does, where the yens were trending and then it switched to the dollar pairs that were trending, and the yen started to become more of a sellers are selling markdown phase. If there's something like that for the stocks as well, what we're looking at. And also you mentioned that, of course, it's not always, but the Forex trends usually like about a month long. So it could be less, it could be more, but it's usually about 3 or 4 weeks. So do you see similar patterns with stocks as well?
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. Oh, let's see. All right. So what you could do is we could move it to a shorter time frame. All right. So let's take the daily, right? To see if on the weekly it looks really early, right? Early move down. All right. And that it could go much lower. All right. All right. So here. All right. So look, very early move in the markdown phase. We got some support right here. All right. On Tesla at 539. Okay. Now, to your question, we could look at the daily, and we can see on the daily, it's a bit extended. All right. So what that means is you could get some buying coming on the daily time frame. All right. Now the big picture weekly, right? It's bad. But here, if you look here on the daily time frame, we get in some support. Okay, so we have some support right here on the daily time frame. All right. So here's the high. All right. And I would say right about here is pretty good resistance. All right. So you could possibly get some buying coming here. All right. But we're still in the markdown phase. It could break support, right, and move even lower. All right. So we don't have any buyers coming in. So even if we brought it in, let's say we bring in that time frame, and we bring it, let's do a 240. So if you were looking for some buying, let's see here. I don't think we're gonna see any buying coming in, but we'll take a look. If you wanted to try to manage out of it, perhaps a 240, you can take a look at a 240. I mean, it's getting some support down in this area, all right, on the daily and the 240. All right, so let's say some buying come in, right? We could see buying come in, charity, kind of like this. If you wanted to manage, if you wanted to kind of manage it, you could, put a side by side a 240 and a daily. All right, and what you're looking for is possibly hoping that here is some support here, right? We got some support here, and the price is holding here. And what you're hoping is that you get some buying kind of like this. All right, so buyers to come in, but just know if the buyers come in, that's short term. So buyers come in like this, and all if that happens, it's just giving you an opportunity to get out of the position. So let's say we know it's in the markdown phase, but you could get some buy-in that come into, you know, perhaps up in this area here. All right, so it breaks resistance. All right, gets up into this area like this, let's say 950, okay, and then kind of moves down again. Okay, so it would make kind of like a high right here, reaches these highs right here. Okay, this is kind of like a channel right here. Okay, so it's at the bottom of the channel. All right, this is not a very good channel. So it's at the bottom of the channel. Let's remove this. All right, so it's at the bottom of the channel. So it went, hit the bottom of the channel, went up, hit the bottom of the channel here, went up, hit the bottom of the channel here. And what you're hoping is that it goes up, right? And you have to time it, watch it, gets back, might get back to this area here, 950, even 1,000, right? And then before it comes back down again and make a lower low. And then you could exit right about here. You see that?
Yeah, I like that. I was thinking I would, well, one strategy I had is maybe just exiting it and waiting for that buy signal to come in again and then buying it back at that point, but not really knowing how, without having to just look at it every day, how long I should really expect to wait to before I'll get that buy signal again, you know.
Yeah.
Just kind of like to keep it in mind so that I'm not having to be married to the to
Yeah.
watching it every day.
Okay. Yeah. So what we can do many times, and even after you guys are trading for a while, there's sometimes when you're going to get caught in trades, right? Just like we don't want to just get in the trades, we don't just want to close the trades. All right. Now, if you got in a trade quickly, right, and you made an error, get out quickly, right? Just close the trade. But if you're in a situation like this, right, it's better to try to manage. So rather, remember, we try to use minimize the emotions, right? And we want to get as logical as possible, and we want to go to our chart. We want to go to our chart too. So don't just close the trades, okay? So watch how, because it doesn't mean the markets don't go down straight, right? They don't go down in a straight line. So you will have pullbacks, you will have reversals, right? You will have pullbacks, you will have reversals. So what you can do, but just know that, you know, you in the markdown phase, and this is for everyone, right? So just know that you're in the markdown phase. And then what we have to do now is we have to manage our way out of it. Okay, so we have to manage, we are managing the trade now. So whenever you guys get in a tough situation, right, don't just close out, right? Manage your way out of it. Okay, so the way you can do it, let's turn on the buy signals. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we know we're in the markdown phase, right? And I'm going to do a channel here. All right. Okay. Highs. And then here are your lows. All right. The nice thing is you're catching some support down here, just like here. So on this time frame, it's getting some support, right? So on the 240, right? So this is the 240, it's catching some support, which is good. And it's catching it down near the bottom of the channel right here, which is good. Okay, your sell short signal closed. So it's not selling anymore. All right. And then you've got buyers trying to come in here. Okay, you've got buyers trying to come in. So what your hope should be is this, right? I would draw support, resistance right here, support right here. All right. And if it can get above this area in here, get above, this is your accumulation. It's a high accumulation. Okay, but let's say it gets above 750, 800, then you could get a buy signal. Okay, you could get a buy signal to now take it higher, like here. All right. Now, when you get that sell signal, all right, so what you could do, Charity, if this works out, if it works out like this, and you're lucky enough to get it for the price to hold here. Now, it can certainly break down if the markets continue to move lower, right? It can certainly break down and move lower. And then what you can do is, rather than just getting out, you will eventually get an opportunity, all right, to trade out of it. That makes sense?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Just being patient and waiting for.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just have to pay. If it breaks support and it goes lower and it gets oversold, just be patient, wait for it. But your goal now, your only goal now is to get out of it. All right. Not to keep it long term, not to, it's not your baby anymore, right? All you're doing is you're looking to minimize your losses, right? Minimize your losses depending on where you got in at. All right. So let's bring in an RSI, and then I'll if anyone else have any other trades. Let's bring in the RSI. So let's see if it's oversold. All right. So you in oversold territory here. So you oversold here. And it can get even more oversold. So you oversold right here. So right here is oversold. All right. Currently, it's not oversold. All right. So it could move a bit lower. All right. It could move a bit lower, but eventually it will give you an opportunity. Buyers will come in, push it up, and then that's going to be your opportunity. All right. To close it out. All right. So it might, let's say it goes down to 500. All right. Push it back up to 7. That might be your opportunity. If it keeps going down lower, though, just know that that's the risk that you take. All right.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyone else? Anyone else? Before we close out, any other symbols you guys want to take a look at? Any concerns?
David, can you look at UAL and the 240 and daily? I have a put.
A put. All right. UAL. UAL. All right. Let's do it. All right. All right, so the 240 and the daily. And you currently in it, Zaire?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so what are you looking to do now?
I'm looking to exit my target to at, let me pull up my chart here. Like, what is it, 30? Well, 30.69, somewhere there about.
Oh, okay. All right. On the daily, let's see here. On the daily. So it finally broke through on the daily. It had a tough time. You look here, right? Sell short, failed, sell short signal, failed, finally broke out. Okay, so that's good. It needs to hold below support. A lot of consolidation. Look at that. Look at that, a ton of consolidation, but finally broke out. I want to see on the weekly. Okay, so on the weekly, you're looking at 30. That shouldn't be a problem for 30 as a target. On the weekly, all right, so we've passed all of this consolidation in here, which is good for you, Zaire. All right. And we have a nice triangle here. So we have a nice triangle right here. Those are really good when you can get a triangle like this. All right, so lower highs, right? Support, accumulation, nice support, and finally we got a nice pop to the downside. $30, that's easy. That's easy. You should get that on the 240, no support and resistance. So I would look for, so right now it's just a falling knife. Okay, so let it run. Like I said, 30 should not be a problem. I would watch it to see if you start to get a new support and resistance. But I look at that, just perfect on the 60. I would watch it on the 60, Zaire. All right. I like the weekly. I don't like the daily. It's not clear. All right. The 240, you'll give up a lot on the 240, but the 60-minute is a good one. All right. So the 60 and the weekly, right, is really good to set that up. I would take a picture of this. All right. And then what you want to do is you want to just watch it. All right. Watch it closely because sellers here's your sell short signal on the 60. All right. And you just want this to continue. And on the 60-minute with equities, it will hold. It's just like it's holding right now. All right. And you just want one more push. You just want one more push. All right. So it's you only 4 points, right? 4 points. So $4 from that 30 from your target. All right. And it here, look here, 38. So right here was 38. Here is 34. All right. And these are 60. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 8 hours. So it moves quick. You see that?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So keep a close, tight look right on it. So 60, keep it tight on the 60. Don't do the 240. All right, not quick enough. So 60, watch it closely. And basically what you're looking for, don't wait for a sell. Don't wait for a buy to cover on it. Don't wait for a buy to cover. Just it makes that move down, kind of like this. You might get a big push down, right? Big push down, especially if the market's down tomorrow. What's the futures? The futures are flat right now, so you could get a nice push tomorrow morning, right to your target, and then just get out, because yeah, it's oversold. I don't have to do it. I know it's oversold, but let's pull up an RSI. So all you're looking for is a nice push lower, and hopefully at the open. Yeah, definitely oversold territory. So you're just looking for, but no buyers, no accumulation, right? It's still moving lower. So you just want one last push. All right, and then here is where it made its low. That's a good target. 30 is a good target because that's where it made a low, right? So the buyers might come back. See right here, right here. That's a good trade, Zaire. Good job. Good trade. Where was your entry? At what price?
Let me see.
On the stock itself, not the option, but the stock itself. What price?
Was at 39.
39.
Or
Okay.
so.
Okay. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That target of 30, that's a perfect target. Because you got some, so here was a low, here is support right here, right? So I wouldn't try to get down this, try to get any of this down here. 30 is good right here. Yeah, good job. But it's oversold. So you just want a quick push. You just want, hopefully markets open down. You get a nice push lower. All right. You only need 4 points and you can get out. And get out. All right.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome. Any other trades, guys? Any other trades? All right. All right. We'll call it a night. I think the big thing here is know that these indexes are in the markdown phase. All right. So be very careful. I would say don't even go long. Right. Don't even go long. All right. If you're going to look for opportunities to go short, be very, very careful. Only experienced traders should do that, shorts or puts. Okay. ETFs. So ETFs are starting to move. If you guys wanted to take a position long in the market, all right, take a picture of this, right? That's a safer bet. And you guys can take a picture of this and look at these ETFs here. But even with those, I would be careful. All right. A lot of the action is in monster short. All right. A lot of the action is in monster short. Watch crypto. Okay. So watch Bitcoin. We'll see this break. It's definitely going to break 20,000, and we'll look for the next target at 10,000. Quickly, the dollar pairs have retraced a bit, but they're still holding. Some of them have closed out. Okay, the dollar index pulled back a bit. All right, we can see that here, right? It pulled back a bit from its high, okay, but still above resistance. All right, if you were in a dollar pair and it closed out, all right, just make sure you got out of it. All right. I had some traders called me on the dollar Swiss. So you guys should had a sell short signal all the way up here to get out. So you guys should be out of the dollar Swiss. It looks like the Swiss, I don't know if it had some bad data or whatever, but a lot of the Swiss pairs really closed out. All right. And so you guys should be out. A lot of the Swiss pairs really made a move to the downside. Okay, but the other pairs, most of the dollar pairs are holding. They've pulled back a bit, but holding nicely. I know we had talked about Charity, your trade yesterday, right? We talked about that pullback and that white candle right here, right? That white candle, and we had talked about whenever we get that white candle and a green candle after that, that's very, very, very bullish. And we can add, if we wanted to, right? We can add to that position. All right. So we talked about this yesterday, right, Charity?
Yes, and I did add to the position.
You did add. Very good, right? Very good. So, so guys, whenever you get that white candle, right? I know we get fearful when the price is all the way up here, it pulls back. All right, but know that a lot of time this moving average, the price, when it gets extended like this, really overbought, right? Think of this moving average like a magnet, right? Like a rubber band, and it a lot of times is going to coincide with support right here, right? So when you get a white candle, right, and then a green candle after that, that's very, very bullish. That means that buyers are back in. If we get a red candle, that's not good. We can get out, right? But a green candle after some white candles, right, that's a good sign. Buyers are back in. We can add it to our position. So Charity, good job being patient with it, and then good job adding to your position. Okay, so good job, good job. All right, guys, take care, and I will see you guys tomorrow. We are having an advanced class at 5 p.m. tomorrow. All right, take care. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, David.
Thanks, David.